It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
Yeah, send me a t-shirt. I'll wear it on the show. Yeah, I love Liberty on Tour, guys. You know, the one thing that I wanted to make sure that we understood is that there is an emotion that needs to be involved with all our activities. If you're filled with rage and revolt and all that kind of stuff, I mean, sometimes it can be, need to get the eye of the tiger and set the teeth through the ramparts. But, if you have that kind of attitude, what are you going to change your life and society to? If you have a bunch of revolutionaries take over with guns, well, then you got guys in charge with guns that use force again. We already did that. If I can ignore them or just make fun of them, because that's the one thing they hate more than anything else. I remember Nixon when I was a kid was going around saying something like, "It's okay to have them laugh with you, but not at you." So if we can laugh at them, that just diminishes their importance even more. But that doesn't diminish their desire to be in control to where they can rule you. So if we can advocate that, can we just not be ruled? This whole concept that they work for us and the government is by, for, of, and it's a republic, and the function of government is the protection of individual rights, because that's what they always promise. Well, they can't promise that anymore. It's always, we're going to have to give up some of our freedoms and individual rights in order for you to be safe. What if you had the philosophy that the only way you're going to be safe is if you're free? They kind of go together. Peace, prosperity, freedom, all that. That's if you got some central command saying how you're going to be ruled, it doesn't work out too good. So we're in the next segment, we're going to catch up with Jim Sharp. He's the morning show host over at the Clear Channel station here in Phoenix, Arizona, KFYI 550. And he went to the airport with his producer in a kilt, and he was party too. So he's going to tell you, he landed wherever he's at, and I just talked to him. So at the beginning of the second segment of this hour, we're going to go ahead and have him on and just tell what happened. It was uneventful, I'm sure. And I talked to the police, the Confrontation Prevention Squad guys, and they said, yep, Jim and his producer came by, and we went and we made sure there weren't any problems. And that's what we wanted, is just be able to dissent. Well, they want you to do it in a certain way, and what they don't anticipate is how creative people can be. Well, they've been creative. So we'll talk about that when we come back. The one other thing that I wanted to talk about, let's go ahead and put this up. Freedom's Phoenix on the top, as we're talking now, in the second line, like the fourth headline that we have up, it says, high quality Ron Paul Revolution logo. I've been getting a lot of requests for this. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we had that available. There's people doing some films. They're doing some coverage. I get a lot of calls. They say, hey, can we get a high quality resolution? I even got called from Canadian television out of Toronto, and they were going to come to Phoenix. Of course, they wanted to go to Phoenix. That was the deal. And they went, oh, yeah, the Phoenix. We need to go to Sky Harbor where it's warm. And then I didn't get back to them soon enough, so they booked to go into LaGuardia or JFK, somewhere in New York City. And I'm going, yeah, sorry you didn't get back to you. Make it here. But everybody's wanting a high-quality view of the Revolution. Let me go ahead and put that up. This is the copy that we've used for all of our production and T-shirts. And so there's another version out there. You'll see it kind of has a rougher outline around the love. And that was done by Dave Gallagher early on. He was the first person that had RonPaulRevolution.com. And he's been a fan of Dr. Paul even before back in the day, and for years and years before he ever became a candidate. When he became, even before he became a candidate, there was the possibility of him being. We already started the revolution. We had the workshop. We're making the signs. He created the site. He went to New Hampshire to visit with him. He was speaking at one of the events in New Hampshire even before he announced. And he created that, and it just became a site that was all about how to promote, how to make the signs. How the first videos that we did came out of our workshop and from his site that we did this. Now, I have RonPaulRevolution.org, and that was, the where, the when, the how. Whenever we have a big mass activity that includes people from around the country, we go to RonPaulRevolution.org that we still have, because it has some software in there that links into Freedom's Phoenix to where we just put everything open. Now, let me go ahead and I'll put it up for the video audience. But what we do is we said, all right, when we go do things like revolution, and we do things like we're going to help in Adam Kokesh and so on, we would say, all right, we're having these events. Or we went to the Revolution March. Or we go to the Super Bowl. Or we do, there's all kinds of different things. Or we had the Love Christmas cards that we may do again. Those are very cool. Help spread the word. And it was, red and green Christmas cards that we distributed by the tens of thousands in New Hampshire before the primaries there. Well, when we go and do any of these things, we always have it, like we did the billboards and all that, we would have a mechanism that would allow people to sign up. When they signed up, they put their name, phone numbers, address, websites, contact information, however they wanted to do it, and we go, all right, if they do that, well, then they have the ability to be able to coordinate. No, I got to log in first. And coordinate with all the other people that have been able to. It wants me to log in. I was hoping to show this to you. Let me see. Yep, there it is. What we did is we were able to put everybody's email and names and where they're from and how they're getting there and the times they're going to be there and the dates, everything, because what we wanted to do was make it an open source for people to be able to just directly communicate with everyone, and it just self-organized. People always want to have control, and that's the difference between what we do here on Freedom's Phoenix and probably what you're used to at things like, I don't want to single out any other organization, but things, their initials are like RTR.org or Campaign for Liberty. But, they want to control, they want to manage it, they want to have people directed to do what they think's important. Well, some people need that. They want that. They desire that. They can use that. There's many arrows in the quiver for freedom in the fight. And I tell you, it's one thing that we have. There is, Mark Victor, my partner in the Freedom Summit, he's the one that came up with this years ago that we really stressed for the Freedom Summit. There is no central plan for freedom. And everybody, you got to do it this way. No. We'll promote anybody doing it any way they want. What we advocate is this open source thing. It's why the meetups and the Lovolutionaries and all that stuff exploded. And even the meetups were kind of a little bit too contained. And when I went around the country talking to people, it was like, look, I just want to know one thing. I go, who are the sign makers? Everybody raise it. Who are the sign makers? You sign maker, who are the sign makers? And then I'd give my spiel, and then I said, we'll talk. And I would go for a few days before an appearance by Dr. Paul and be somebody's garage or backyard. I would show them how to make the sign. I'd go get the material. We get the banner material. I'd bring stencils with me. I'd pack. I spent a bunch of money just in luggage, bringing this stuff around. Go to Walmart, get all spray can. I show them how to do it. Not what to say. What do you want to say? We take an overhead projector and we go buy these young kids overhead projectors on Craigslist and stuff. How do you express yourself? What they said, don't care, because I was curious as to see what they did. Oh man, the diversity was amazing in the Lovolution. If you let it go, 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 let it go. So that's what we do. Here in Freedom's Phoenix, heck, I don't know half the stuff that goes on here. Don't want to. We're a resource because I always knew if we had these resources, like Claire Wolf was saying, yeah, Ernie and friends, we'd be butt heads. to the man and lovers of freedom. We'll be right back.